What is up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C. And if you're listening to this podcast, you from Speaker or any other podcast platforms, welcome to the Tasha C Show. If you are listening through the video for YouTube for my Tasha C TV channel, welcome. This is day 62 of my 365 video journey. And just a disclaimer, if y'all hear any clicks or anything, that's notifications come through my phone because I use Speakers, Creative Studio in order, as far as right now, through their phone app, in order to create my podcast as of right now. If y'all have, shout out to everyone who has supported my YouTube fam and my podcast fam who have been listening and if is listening so far and who will listen to my podcast and my video and or video journey in the future. See y'all, that was just a notification. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if y'all have been listening before, I've been usually most of my podcasts, most of the time, have been having the little hand clap, the audience in the beginning. Now, this time I purposely didn't put it in because I was originally, going to have, like I said, I'll try to show my face this week for my video journey, but majority, like I said, majority is the time as far as right now be mostly podcasts, a bunch of extra podcasts. Okay. So for this particular podcast, because I'm not always going to have a sad podcast, I hope not in future. I mean, like I said, there are parts where, like for last week, for example, I had talked, I think it was last week, or like the week before last, I talked about the sadness of finding out someone that I've been watching, her and her family for YouTube for years, and her father, also her brother, was on YouTube as well, and it is grim to find out that their father had passed away. And like I said, I talked about, of course, the death of, the legend, God rest his soul as well, John Witherspoon. I think Diane Carroll, I don't think I was doing podcasts then, or at least around then, Diane Carroll, but just all of these legends dying, or, like I said, John Witherspoon was, even though he's 7'7", that's still gone too soon to me personally, and so what I wanted to talk to y'all about real quick is, it just threw me off. Like this story, they just had a notification where I was popping up. The Detroit police are investigating suspected others of deaths of 3 adults on the east side, found by an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. Oh my God. Like I said, I'm not usually going to have all, sad podcast, but it really was kind of hard to not talk about the subject about losing these young people, legends in the making so fast. And was also another story on Instagram that was kind of sad as well, that it was 2 brothers. One had took his life because the other brother had his life because they could not cope with losing their mother like last year or something like that, or something not too long ago. So that is sad as well. So y'all, this morning I'd seen, I think, Expand Your Mind. I've been watching his YouTube channel for years. And then he said in the title, JuiceWld had passed away. I'm like, huh? Because honestly, y'all, I have not honestly watched a lot of, or watched a lot of YouTube, JuiceWld videos or JuiceWld's music, because I think he's talented, but it's like hearing a couple of songs I did hear, they were kind of sad. You know what I mean? And him kind of coping with self-medication. And it was just so sad to hear a lot of his music. Now, I heard snippets of his music because I Am Dante, which he's really good in cinema and in reactions. So I don't know if he reacts. I mean, sometimes he reacts to occasional YouTube videos, some music, and he's also a talented rapper as well, lyricist. And that's where I kind of heard, I think his first studio album and bits and pieces of it. Because, of course, we can't play it. I'm saying that as well. Because one time, I didn't do reactions where I had music or anything played. I just talked about, as if I was reviewing a show. But I don't I only did a couple, and that was years ago. And I just talked about, I just seen the video and such and such, such and such. That's how I would talk about it if I was reviewing or recapping a show or movie, whatever. Um, but but what I mean is if we were to play the songs, whatever, unless we want to be demonetized or something, if you have monetization, or possibly have your video taken down, or you got to share all the profits if you have monetization with whoever is the creator, or over that artwork, or over that music, or whatever. Um, you can only play it like and have to break it so many times, and all these other stuff, whatever. And so, or you don't, have the volume. It's just so many rules that I was like, that's why I could not be a reactor, because as talented people could be directing things, and they could keep the modernization and stuff. But I couldn't do it. So I heard bits and pieces enough of the album. Even Dante, he made a video earlier today about it, and about the says like it was like every song that he played of every basically like snippets of every song. And every song, the young man unfortunately was talking about drug use, and even the snippets seemed sad as hell. The girl just broke up. I hate you. Blah, blah. It was just like, oh my gosh, it was a lot going on. It was like, almost like, to me, it was emo rap, personally to me. But my nephew, who I occasionally talk about 10-year-old, he was telling me about, oh my gosh, I'm so sad, because, I guess he does this. He does. He even, showed me, because he has a TikTok, y'all. He was on there before it was TikTok, when it was Musically. Okay, that's how long he been on there. And he made two songs, like two little videos, read the music background, and he was saying West RP to JuiceWld and stuff. And what is even said, little information. Now, I knew about XXX honestly, through I Am Dante. And it was another guy, Simajai, I forgot his name, but I think he's been kind of like just been get off YouTube. He used to be a rapper as well, and he was a rapper, but I think now more so just been rapping, and sometimes he pop up still on YouTube. And that's how I found out about him. And Ski Mask, from a couple rappers, so I kind of know about them a little bit and some of their music from that, okay? So it was sad that somebody also said on Ski Mask, because, Ski Mask was good friends with JuiceWld as well. And we all know the tragedy, and this is what I was talking about. It's sadly common that you have these young people in the making that are passing away as artists. Happening, period. But it was still shocking, because the young man, JuiceWld, had passed away. He had a seizure, I think, at the Chicago airport. And, it was blood, I think, coming from his mouth. Even though he was conscious before attending the hospital, unfortunately, he ended up passing away. So I'm just like, huh? It's just sad, because he would just be getting his career. And like I said, Ski Man feels like he's like, I'm like, he just ready to go now is also what he says. So hopefully he's okay. But that's a lot to take in, considering that he has already lost it. Because, y'all, like I said, I knew that XXX and Ski Mask were very close, okay? He was, like I said, with him at XXX telling him, give me years. I think they had met in jail stuff. Like I said, I remember. It's just a lot to take in, and it's really like this young man, was going places, and it is like I said, it just is common, because some people, the first thing they can, they say is like, some people, they gotta sit there and talk about, oh well, he shouldn't have been on drugs and blah blah blah. Because there's 9 times 10 is from him self-medicating and stuff. But the thing is that whether it is or not, like I said, XXX had passed away. Because of, like I said, XXX due to the fact that you have people willing to take his life for a couple bucks, to rob him and end up shoot, it, besides him, you had Frazier, you had Little Peep, you had Mac Miller that passed away from an accidental overdose last year, and it's just sad, because and it's also scary. Like, I hope, or like, I've heard of even Famous Dex. listened to some of his like stuff years ago, whatever, a couple of his songs, and we seen him deal with like sometimes you show with showing, suffocating on pills and blah blah blah, and stuff like controversy show clip last year when he was like sleeping, like like oversleeping, like was a side effect of drugs, which some drugs, which sometimes that can happen. But also him having a seizure not too long ago, and he just has to take better care of himself. But it's just really sad. Like I said, I didn't know the young man. I knew of his music. I knew that I just did not expect this, period. I just expected him to continue on in his career. And it's just still shocking that this happened, and continues, where it's like, not to say it's to be not to see normal, like this is kind of like normalized, whatever. Just I really don't have nothing else to say. It's just that did y'all listen to JuiceWld's music, and do y'all know anybody like who listens to his music? And I don't know. So it's just, y'all, it's all about appreciating life while you're here, especially since we're in a world, life is not guaranteed. And this goes to show that. And this is also a thing where it seems like, not to say that this is, like this is normal, but it's sad that this is this is mm, this is this is sad. And I really, like I said, I really just can't say anything else about it. But like I said, and I mean, there's other people I haven't mentioned too as well that passed away at a young age. And this is why I'm pausing, because it's kind of like, it's really hard to like talk about, like I said, just with this alone, because I don't know what else to say without kind of like looking like this is sad, even though people are like, oh well, people die every day, blah blah, because there are some people, unfortunately, that are like that. But what about the solution? Where is this going? Like, if you're just looking from the angle of like, this is common, where we're losing young legends, or some consider legends in the making, and some of them may be, sorry, that was notifications. And some of it may be, unfortunately, because some people need to use violence in order to solve things. And some people, like, instead of like talking out, or even like, God rest his soul, as John would say, use your fist, live to fight another day. And but also too, if it's not that, it's like, I mean, it's not the first time we've heard about people who self-medicating or use drugs, but the fact that this is still common, like, this is like, you're hearing this in the songs, and you're kind of like, okay, when, what could be the possible solutions for this? Not to say just because he has seizures that automatically means that it had to be self-medicating. But 9 times out of 10, that's probably what has happened, you know. So I'm going to get off here. And hugs and love, everything. God bless. And just like cherish every day that y'all here, y'all. Cherish every day you got sound mind. Cherish every day that you can wake up in the morning. Because, like I said, it doesn't, some people can pass away and it has nothing to do with, like if they are if we are, what we eat or what poisons that we're putting in our body, you know. And as I'm just saying, cherish every day, but just keep not only JuiceWld's family and loved ones, just his loved ones in your prayers as well, but also, like I said, loved ones including, like, even down to Ski Mask, because now Ski Mask, that young man and whoever else who were friends and who are mourning his death that are close to him, are kind of like, oh my gosh, and what I heard is I think his birthday was just last week. And then it was his lyrics that somebody was saying, like, that they had on there where he says, we're the class, we don't, barely make it or not make it until past 21 or something like that. So, yeah, y'all, it's just like I said, I'm sorry, y'all, that this was kind of one of my sad or kind of seemed like I was really dragging on trying to come up with something. But it's all about where do we go from here? Because, like I said, that's been a lot of depths. Okay, Fredra also, y'all heard about that rapper. He was young. He wasn't even in his 30s. And 30 is not old either. But I'm just saying is that, he passed away, last year as well, too? So and that's just the ones, I do, like y'all, do y'all ever see these videos? I'm just bringing up real quick, or seeing like some of the people you follow. Like I said, because I follow some reactors, but they'll, recommend you, or maybe a reactor will have, be like, what do you call, like, hip hop channel, right? And they may have a suggestion where it's like, okay, people who passed away that are hip hop rap artists and such amount of time. And, like, remember y'all, just a couple years ago, like I said, I had mentioned before, like, Obama, Dex Obama or something, Obama, whatever, Dex, not famous Dex, but Dex that was from Detroit, that was Cash Dow's boyfriend. He was only in his early 20s, and he got, his life was taken here in Detroit. And his brother 2 years later. That, even though it was like 5 years later, at Bankroll Fresh, he was, even though it was supposedly self-defense, he was only, I think in his early 30s, and he was a rapper too, coming up. And that's what I'm saying is it's so common about this, that, you got violence or either, drugs, but let's be real, that is coming to play, or addictions, because, whatever, so forth, that is becoming common. So, where do we go from here, y'all? What is the way, how do we do this? How can we, because if people are self-medicating, that means that they're using this to deal and cope with whatever issues that they have. Stuff that either instantly affects them mentally and or physically, mentally wise. And, some people, may deal with self-medicating, especially being an entertainment field, to deal with, like, that's a lot being, where people, you're still a human being, but some people may look at you as a target or look at you as a way of being assessed with you. They try to make you appear as if you're a god or something. And just as some people, just as quick, they may be envious of you and stuff, and or plotting and everything else. I'm sorry, y'all, I got a couple minutes for y'all. So, and it's just like I said, it's also a thing of too, looking at awareness about what to do with mental health, what messages we are there that we don't have to keep hearing about these results, or it becomes, become desensitized or normalized to certain things. Like, y'all heard about Brother Nature. Before I get off here, he's like, God, it was cool, make borrowable with animals and stuff. And I didn't know what everything was going on, but we seen him being jumping, this guy's stumping. Basically, whoever it is should be charged with assault, beating him up somewhere. I mean, even though Brother Nature's cool, whatever, but people recording, he used to say people recording, but not helping. And that's the thing, too. I know he's not a rapper or anything, but it's like, what do you think is the right solutions to help where this is not normalized You know what I mean? And getting help like mental. It's just a lot of layers. But like I said, rest in peace to young man. Rest in peace to people I mentioned and so forth who passed away that I mentioned. And just, y'all, like I said, cherish y'all. You know, like I said, I hope this will be one of, not to say nothing else is going to happen, but I hope I don't have to keep like making possible podcasts or videos with this subject. But anyway, God rest his soul. Y'all take care. Hugs and loves, everybody. God bless. And I'll see y'all in the next podcast.